Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Cancer placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Cancer, there's so much energy coming through your reading today. There are first a couple of old readings that I'm being reminded of. I think most of them are Cancer readings. One of them may not be, but I think it might have been. I don't know. Anyway, so I'll link them above. I'm just going to link them one right after another. If you click the description box and scroll all the way to the bottom, there should be like a section that has like related links. So they'll all be listed there. One of them was an old reading. I can't remember what it was called or what the sign was or if it was collective or something like that. But it was about sort of like how trauma or pain can be stored in the body. That was sort of like one of the main themes of that reading, so I'll link that one. There was another Cancer reading where I was wearing the sweater. For some reason, Cancer, whenever I sit down to do Cancer reading, like I always want to wear this red sweater. So I don't know if there's something about the color red for you that's significant. There could be something that's root chakra related, especially with that sort of energy coming through of like the body is really being highlighted in this reading and the energy that's coming through. So there was another reading that had to do with sort of like a cycle of loneliness that was changing. So keep that in mind. And then there was another Cancer reading more recently that I did that talked about sort of like this really big spiritual energy that was like right on top of you. And I feel like there's something about that energy that's coming through today in your reading, which is why I feel like there may be sort of a need to ground your energy, like really connect with sort of earthy energies at the moment, because I feel like there's something very like substantial coming in, which is kind of feeling like though that there's something like very spiritual sort of like trickling into your physical experience that's going to change your physical experience. That's how it's coming through. Another download that I'm getting is that there's a very strong Mars energy present in your reading today. Mars is in Cancer right now in retrograde until February 23rd. So this energy may be something that plays out until February, but it doesn't have to be. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But there's a very strong Mars in Cancer retrograde energy coming through this reading today. So on some level, it feels kind of collective, but I feel like Cancer, you may be feeling it quite significantly. So the Mars and Cancer energy, I'm getting kind of like that there's the way that it was being described to me was kind of like a Four of Cups energy, which is kind of coming through as this sort of like emotional stagnation, or that there's like something about like your experience or like satisfaction that you're not feeling is how it's coming through. Like maybe there's something about like emotionally, maybe you're not excited by something, or you're not like feeling enthusiastic about something that's currently in your environment or your situation. It's like it's kind of like it's not exciting. It should be exciting, or it should elicit sort of feelings of happiness or satisfaction, but it's not for whatever reason. That maybe you're being asked to work with that energy. So the example that was coming through is kind of like, imagine, like, it's very trivial, Cancer, so it's just a metaphor, just take it how it resonates. Just as an example, let's say you want to go out and have dinner, right? Or like you're trying to decide what you're going to have for dinner. And like you're looking at like, I feel like it's more so coming through as being like looking outwards, like looking at different restaurants, like what am I gonna have, and you just like keep scrolling. You keep scrolling, looking for something to eat, right? Like let's say you're like looking for delivery or whatever, takeout, that kind of thing, or like where to go, and it's like nothing is really like nothing's really like appetizing or catching your interest or that kind of thing. So that's where this sort of Four of Cups energy is coming through. And what the universal sort of energy is, like the guidance, I guess, that I'm getting for you, Cancer, is that like actually we have food at home is kind of the energy that's going through. Like, we have food at home, Cancer. You don't have to go out and search for whatever it is that you're looking for. It's actually like much closer. It's at home. It's already in your fridge, like that kind of thing. But there's that feeling of kind of like wanting more and more and more, and like wanting to go out, wanting to search for something, wanting more is just this energy of like the Four of Cups, where it's like it becomes more difficult to find something satisfying because you're always searching for something more. That's how it's coming through. So the solution or the guidance is actually to like pull back a little bit, with especially with this Mars in Cancer, which is like focused in on home, or because it feels kind of like something to do with Mars energy. So it could be related to your body. It could be related to like physical health or sexual energy, or it could also be like I was getting kind of this interesting energy with that, where it's like perhaps something from the past is coming back around, where maybe there was sort of like conflict within a dynamic where there was sexual energy. So I don't know. There could have been something where it was like too much Mars energy, like always searching for the next thing, always like going after sort of like this very aggressive energy that's coming through, that I feel like is wanting to sort of like be reined in a little bit. I don't know, Cancer, just take it how it resonates, because it's kind of like what the universe is saying, or your guides, or whatever word you want to put there, is like, we have food at home, Cancer. You don't have to go out and search for it. We have food at home. But that response might be something that's a bit frustrating or dissatisfying, because it's like it's almost like there's something with the nervous system, with your body, right? Like something like that, where it's like this feeling of like the Four of Cups. You have a lot, so it's like you almost need more in order to try and maintain that sort of like level of like in your brain, like dopamine, serotonin, like that kind of like high energy. That's how it's coming through. So I feel like part of the challenge might be from like now until February, right? This Mars in Cancer transit, where you may have to sort of like work on like lowering your, I don't know, maybe like physiological response to certain stimuli in order to like recalibrate it, right? It's almost like it's like, as an example, I don't know if this is for you, like adrenaline, right? Like if you have something that caught, like, because adrenaline is associated with this sort of like high energy, like fight or flight response, or like something very exciting, right? That might be something where it's the adrenaline response, for example, has gotten sort of like out of control, or in a way where it's like overstimulated, or it hasn't had a chance to like return to baseline. That's what this energy is. It's a return to baseline. Something, this part of this Mars transit is helping you to return to a baseline, right? It's this energy of like, we have everything we need at home. So it's kind of like wanting to like recalibrate your baseline of like safety, protection, peace, maybe something like that, or just like feeling good and safe in your body. Could be something like that as well. So there's a lot of energy there. Anyway, Cancer, I'm just gonna leave that there. If there are more messages that are coming through, I feel like there are. It's just like there's so much right now. It's kind of all over the place. So I'm gonna pull cards. I'm getting really strongly like this energy of needing to ground. So I feel like needing to ground and also like lower. Perhaps some sort of like activity, or like if you're doing like physical exercise, for example, like not doing something that's like super aggravating, or like it feels more like doing things that are more calming and soothing. Like yin yoga is a good exercise for that. Okay. Hold on. So they do not miss their seed pods is coming out, but I wasn't quite ready for it, so I'm going to put it back. That's a card about letting go of creations, like letting go of something that you've created. Okay, Cancer. Cards are just flying today. Okay, yeah. Okay, primary nourishment and the snake encircles the moon. Both of these cards are exactly what I was talking about. There you have 4 and 42. 4 is your energy, right, Cancer? It's about home and stability, which is very interesting because this card talks about, because I feel like there's this energy of returning to home, but I feel like there's something where it's like you've been away from home, metaphorically, for a long time, where I feel like maybe you've been in, like, it's kind of coming through with this energy of like high adrenaline, for example. That could be metaphor, right? Where it's like you're always on high alert, or perhaps your body feels that way, or there's like a lot of stress or whatever. And it's like trying to like bring that back down to a normal baseline. Because I feel like the snake encircles the moon. That's a card about, it's so hard to explain. I'm just gonna read the description of it because it's just easier. 1 second. Okay. Take refuge in what's available for grounding you in this moment. Get perspective on and reinvigorate your relationship with your usual places of abiding. There are things that give you a sense of safety and stability. When you feel that things have become too turbulent in your life or in your heart, merely remembering these things is like bringing your storm-beaten ship to relieving moorage in a sheltered harbor. This is called taking refuge, finding sanctuary, or abiding in. Snakes have an incredibly intimate relationship with the earth. Their movements are a caressing of the planet. They dwell upon and within the earth, their whole body in contact with it. The moon, too, is an intimate relationship with the earth, circling around our planet month after timeless month. For both the snake and the moon, the earth is refuge. In this story, however, the snake briefly leaves its centralizing sanctuary and travels out to the lunar periphery of our sphere. It is injured along the way and needs a moment to recover, so it moors itself on and around the moon. From there, it is able to restabilize, re-inspire, and get a new perspective on its now distant abode before returning. Okay. When you're drawn to this archetype, you will now benefit from recognizing what you take refuge in and sprucing up your relationship with those centering, grounding, and stabilizing abodes. Each of us finds sanctuary in different things. It may be your home, your work, your family, a pet, or other close relationships. It could be your routines, commutes, and practices. It could also be a deity, nature, or a specific spot in nature, creativity, a philosophy, a religion, science, etc., etc. Whatever gives you peace, space, and softening when you think of it, that's your refuge. Okay, if you are drawn to this archetype at a time when you feel regularly connected to these things, it may be useful to take a break from your familiar support systems in order to get a fresh perspective on them. In the process, you may end up finding new supports that serve unmet needs, or you may touch in with your own inner metal in a galvanizing way. Okay, there's a lot coming through for this energy, Cancer, because I feel like there's something about like you may be feeling, especially with the 4 energy, because that it's coming through very strongly with 4 of Cups, something that's like maybe your routines, like the things that make you feel safe and secure and stable and all of that are in some way feeling like a 4 of Cups, like maybe they aren't providing as much comfort as they normally do, or there's something about this sort of 4 of Cups energy that's needing to be cleared out, because it's kind of like, it could be something where it's like, with that example of like trying to figure out what to eat for dinner, like maybe you're feeling drawn to go and try something new because what you have at home isn't meeting a certain need. It could be something like that. So there may be that energy, just being conscious of that, especially because there's Mars energy that's coming through with this. Just being conscious of it. There could also be this energy of like needing to get a new perspective on what it is that nourishes you, because I feel like there's something here where like something new, something is changing about your primary nourishment. I'm gonna just briefly read that card, what the description says for that. Take in simple, pure, life-affirming nourishment. Avoid giving into cravings for anything complex, rich, or intense. Ingest what supports your evolution. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, sometimes we can feel an empty hunger that we fill with whatever is easiest for us to acquire. But this card indicates you need to imbibe deeply of a basic source of nourishment. Start with a few deep breaths, then assess what you truly need now. Okay. Yeah, it's this feeling of like the 3 of Cups is empty. That's how it feels. So it could be something like there's like a hunger for something, Cancer, but it's like you're being asked to assess what is it that you really need, because it might be something here where like a primary source of nourishment is not being met, but it's very basic, right? It's like the universe is telling you, Cancer, you don't need to go out and like search for this thing. It's actually at home. It's much simpler. It's like we have food at home. That's how it's going through. It's a return to baseline. That's what this energy is feeling like. And it feels very much like a physical sort of response. Like it feels kind of like maybe something of like, it really is wanting to come back to like that nervous system energy where there's like this like overactive nervous energy, and it's like wanting to bring you back to baseline where there's like peace and stability and nourishment and safety. That's how it's coming through. Very interesting. Okay. Okay, there could be something about sleep as well that might be part of it. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you having trouble falling asleep? That could also be part of that like anxious energy. Like it's also coming through with this feeling of like, even if like nothing's happening around you, there's like a restlessness, or like you can like feel your pulse, like that kind of energy, and it's kind of like wanting to like bring it back to baseline. Like being able to like slow your heart rate, that kind of thing, through like deep breathing or yin yoga, for example, or like quiet and meditation. Okay, Cancer. Whew. Okay, you have 2. Yeah, interesting. Spirit Dancer and the Singer of Healing. Okay. Yeah, there's a very significant healing energy for you that's coming through. Like wanting to heal something of the Spirit Dancer energy. And Luathas at the bottom of the deck. I'm not surprised by this, because this is a very strong Mars energy for sure. It's very fiery. But I see this as well as being like, because the Mars energy is an energy of like going after what you want, like doing something right now. It's a very like creative, fiery, moving forward kind of energy. It could be destructive. I'm not getting that so much. Well, maybe it could veer into that. So that's why this is coming through as being like trying to ground your energy. It could veer into that sort of like destructive fire. So just being conscious of that. I'm not so much getting that for you, because I feel like that's what's trying to be avoided, is like bringing it down. Bringing it down. Because I feel like there's something about the spirit dancer that's wanting to be healed, right? Because this is also, I'm getting like, this is sort of like Mars energy versus Venus energy, where the Venus energy is a lot softer, because it's coming through as sort of like this Empress-like energy, like much more nurturing, this like feminine nourishment energy, versus like a masculine aggressive energy is how it's going through. Okay. So Venus right now is in Pisces. So that might be like a helpful balancing energy for you, which is another water sign. But anyway, so the spirit dancer is about self-expression, freedom, and exploration. So something about your self-expression, creativity, that is wanting to be healed. So it says, now is the time to focus and really concentrate on a project or process, especially one involving the creative arts. Spontaneity balanced by self-discipline will help us achieve our goals. Strive for elegance and simplicity. This is a time to bring out and share qualities that we have nurtured in private. Interesting. I'm going to read the Spirit Dancer in reverse because it sounds very similar to Luathas in reverse. Self-absorbed and obsessed, the reverse Spirit Dancer has become entangled in her own unexpressed and perhaps inexpressible fantasies. She feels angry and driven and may be unable to express her feelings in any way except through destruction. Very interesting, Cancer. Because if you, in the Luathas the Wild description in reverse, it also talks about that kind of energy where something has become destructive and really aggressive. So there could be something like that that's healing for you. Maybe there's some aspect of like, because it's coming through as being like, your creative expression or how you express yourself, perhaps how you express Mars energy, because Mars could be anger, passion, sexuality. It could also be creative as well. Also, it has a lot to do with stability. So if there's something repressed about the Mars energy, it can cause anger, like that kind of thing. That's how it's coming through. So this healing process may involve like releasing anger in some way or releasing some energy that's been repressed is how it's coming through, where it's like it doesn't have to be like, it could be something where it's like maybe your creative expression in whatever way has been repressed. I don't know in what way though, like it, because it doesn't matter, but it feels like part of this like healing is to first of all, of course, like express it, right? Like let it out in some way through a creative expression, because it's coming through as like that is a primary source of nourishment. Because it's kind of something like, if we go back to that example of what are we going to eat for dinner? Where it's like, if you're constantly going out in search for like something to eat versus like what's coming through as the primary nourishment is like making yourself something to eat, right? That's an expression of like being able to cook yourself dinner. I know that's such a simple example, but that is a form of nourishment. And it's very primal is how it's coming through. Being able to like find nourishment for yourself. That's how it's feeling. But it's also a form of creative expression. I feel like there's something with the hands that is really significant for that. Like working with your hands in some way. This is wanting to be healed. Okay. The spirit dancer is also a bit more watery than it is fiery to me. This is sort of like an expression of heart energy through the hands. Because I actually feel, because there is a very strong like root energy coming through, but I feel like there's also like heart energy that's wanting to be expressed, like love in some way. This could be something like it could be something like physical touch. It could also be something like doing something kind for someone, right? Like an act of service for someone that requires like, you to do something, like an act of service, like that kind of thing. That's how it's coming through. Okay. Sulfur just flipped out, but again, I wasn't ready for that one, so I'm gonna put it back. But I am getting a strong sulfur energy. That is also an energy of healing, but that sometimes it's unpleasant. That especially this energy of like repression, or like maybe that's not the right word, but like something that's been like, especially if it's something like trauma or pain or heartache or whatever, something uncomfortable that's been sort of like stored in the body, like it's been I don't know, repressed maybe, or like a pain that's been stored in the body. It does have to be released. And so that can be an unpleasant or very uncomfortable or very painful process when that energy is released from the body. Because it's almost like you have to re-experience that pain in order to release it. But so I feel like there's something like that happening, but it's healing at the same time. Okay, synchronicity. Synchronicity. The number 4 is definitely coming in as a synchronicity for you, Cancer. But I'm going to pull another card. And there's this other image here of like the snake encircling the moon. Okay, sorry, I just got a really big message there. Okay, I feel like something very stable is changing in your life. Something very stable is changing in your life as a result of this healing. So it's like when you go through this healing, it causes a really big change in your life, perhaps in a physical way, because it's kind of like part of the stability in your life might have been something that was really like not good for you, right? So it's kind of like when you go through the healing, the thing that wasn't good for you starts to change. So there could be something like that. And there's also this message coming through with that where it's like sometimes when we become used to like a negative or toxic environment, when we go into the new healthy environment, that can almost feel like wrong because it's different than what you knew, right? So it's kind of coming through like that, Cancer. So just being aware of that, where I feel like whatever change is happening is a result of you going through a healing process where whatever is changing for you might be something that was toxic or not good for you in whatever way, but that the new healthy thing at first may feel kind of uncomfortable because it is new, not because it's bad for you. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It may make you feel vulnerable because it's new, or because there's this energy of like it's not repressed anymore is how it's feeling. Okay, that's the message that was coming through this synchronicity card, but there may also be a lot of synchronicities happening where I feel like there's because something of a synchronicity, like I was just thinking about this not recently at all, a long time ago actually, but I'm being reminded of it, is like sometimes the universe will send us synchronicities to lead us to things that are good for us and are meant for us, but they're so out of our like normal range of experiences that we wouldn't choose that regularly. So synchronicities can be things that are like really outside of our realm of experience because it's like something that you're meant to go towards, but that maybe if the universe weren't guiding you, you wouldn't necessarily choose it because of like habit or what you're used to, that kind of thing. So there may be synchronicities coming through for you like that, where it's like really drawing your attention, but it's not something that you yourself would choose if you had that choice, if that makes sense. Like it's really wanting to bring you to something new that is going to meet some sort of unmet need that you have. But when that need is met, it may feel quite uncomfortable at the beginning because it's new. So just keeping that in mind. Okay. I feel like there is this sort of like primary nourishment that is being met, that is healing for you, but that there may be some unpleasant energy associated with that, okay? So just keep that in mind. Okay. Mystical Sister. I love it. Okay. This card came out in, I don't remember what reading it was. Libra, maybe? Okay, so this card talks about a sacred ally. I feel like there's someone, there's like a very like powerful connection coming through for you, Cancer, where it's like this is an energy that listens and supports. There's no judgment. There's no like trying to fix the problem. They're just there to listen and support you unconditionally. There's a lot of trust, unconditional love, respect, honesty that happens within this dynamic. And it's very healing. It feels like that. You may want to watch the Libra reading as well, because I feel like there's something here, Cancer, for you, where it's like there are synchronicities that are synchronicities that are leading you towards this mystical sister, or synchronicities that are like showing you something new that I feel like is pay attention to the synchronicities, because it's kind of like there's a lot of healing. There's a lot of healing that comes from this. The tricky part, though, Cancer, is that whatever this area in your life that needs healing is that it causes anxiety. So there may be something where it's like, let's say you get a synchronicity, right? You see some sort of sign, or you like have some sort of download, or you like your intuition tells you something, but it may for whatever reason may cause a bit of anxiety or worry or fear or doubt for whatever reason. Because it's associated with something like a wound or past trauma or, whatever it is. But keep an open mind, because I feel like whatever is coming through for you through the synchronicity is like really positive, good news that's healing, that's trying to heal that energy. But if you're looking at it through lens of fear, you may not get the right message, right? Like that kind of thing. So this is coming through as being like the synchronicities are leading you to something healing, but the healing may involve unpleasant, uncomfortable energies being released from your system in whatever way, because it's wanting to get you back to baseline is how it's coming through. Okay. I'm going to pull one more card from this deck. Actually, no, because we're even here at 2. I'm not going to use this deck today, the Alchemy deck. I'm going to take a little bit of a break from this deck. But I am going to pull a final card from the Animal Apothecary for you, Cancer. Okay. Inner truth. Yeah. Okay. Inner truth. I'm gonna pull one more. It's about your intuition, and that the answer will come to you. You don't need to go out and search for it. That's what this card is really talking about. You have everything you need at home, Cancer, whatever that means for you. You have tons of food at home. It sounds silly. Okay, I'm gonna pull one more. 1 second. Abundance. Interesting. That's that like really big spiritual energy that's like right on top of you, Cancer. I'm gonna read this one. To survive, bowhead whale must be in flow with the currents of the ocean where its main source of food lives. When a team is migrating through the Arctic waters, the lead bowhead will often break through the ice to create a hole that the following whales will use to breathe. Bowhead whale comes to ask you to be in harmony with the flow. The flow is the path of least resistance. It is allowing that which is bigger than yourself to guide you. This card reveals that something greater is clearing the way for a time of relief. You are in alignment with the flow where abundance follows. This abundance is revealed to you as your true self. You're being asked to release your negative thinking and worry. Rest assured that whatever is currently bringing discord or angst will soon dissipate. Let go. Holding on to worry is resisting the state of flow. When we trust life and surrender, we work in flow. When we work in flow, we channel, which means to allow the universe to self-express through us. In these magical moments of inspiration, we allow the universe to actualize, using us as the vehicle. This is bliss as we transcend the superego and are one with the ultimate oneness. This is where we realize our true self. This is ultimate abundance. Bowhead whale's medicine suggests prayer as a gateway to channeling. Ask the universe what you can do for it and not what it can do for you. What comes next is better than what you could wish for. Okay. With that energy of synchronicity, Cancer, it's kind of like the synchronicities. The universe is sending a lot of signs and synchronicities to you in order to like clear the way for you to move towards this abundance. It's like the universe is wanting to bring you to something that's like very, very nourishing, that is extremely healing for you. It's like trust. Let go of the worry. Go with the flow of whatever this is. I feel like there may be anxiety that's coming through, and the answer to that is to just trust, right? To trust and be open and allow this like very big energy to like move through you or to come through you or whatever, however it arrives. It's like, I feel like it's going to shake some things up, because it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like something like really, really big is changing for you, Cancer. So I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.